All right. First up, we've got a public hearing. We need to use $100,000 from our machinery reserve to purchase a plow truck. And this is basically so that we can place the order now. And then we'll replenish the funds next year. Any discussion?
Part of our plan, so this is the right thing to do.
Yep.
Do we have to read it?
I believe it just got read.
Was that the whole thing?
Use up to $100,000 of funds from machinery reserve to purchase a plow truck.
Yep, that's it.
So we got a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All right, discussion.
And that's part of our plan, and we're going to replenish the monies this budget year. So
Yep.
let's do it before the prices go up again.
Exactly. Yep.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Okay, very good. All right. Kick the meeting off proper now. First, we've got the approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Second.
Kevin seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Good. All right. And then the treasurer's report. So we've got her report here. Well, first, I'm sorry. First is authorize the payment of the bills. I always get the cart before the horse on that one.
I'll make a motion to authorize the payment of the bills.
Ed seconds. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Very good. Now we approve the treasurer's report.
I'll make a
Wow.
motion. Okay, go ahead.
Second.
No, I was going to say she did a lot because she got us all the way through the budget, and we're and completed about as painlessly as possible. So great job.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got a motion in a second. Any other discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, very good. Let's see here. All right, written reports. Glenwood Cemetery.
I'd just like to
Pretty good.
point out that after many years, the Earl Abbey's roof and foundation is finally fixed.
I know. I want to go take a look.
That's one of those ones that's been hanging over our heads the whole time, hasn't it?
Longer than that.
Yeah. No, I'm glad and it's good that and the family's excited because they didn't realize they had money in an account to take care of that. So didn't cost the village anything, didn't cost them anything. Everyone's a winner.
Double bonus.
Yeah.
Is there any money left in the account that can grow for the future again?
I think Tanya said there was like around 10,000 maybe, give or take.
Hopefully we put that into like a stock fund and not income.
Yeah.
It's not going to be needed for 30 years. So you could actually handle a few ups and downs, and maybe towards the end of 30 years, you move it into like an income fund or something more safe, because then you're going to need it.
Good
It's a good
idea.
idea.
So I don't know if that takes a motion or just fiscal responsibility from Tanya.
She's
Let's
pretty
have
good
her-
about that.
Yeah, let's have her take a look at it, and if we need to, we can vote on it in January.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Great idea, Ed.
Other than that, pretty busy. Well, we're just about to approve the cemetery report. We need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Ed seconds.
Okay, Ed seconds. Any other discussion on the cemetery?
Yeah, I was going to ask Tim about the status of the power line, and I don't see.
He's not here tonight. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure he's gonna make it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I don't see Jim Jr. So
Right.
we'll just have to wait on that. All
Well,
right.
let's say a good job for a rookie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Good first year.
First year down.
Hey, all you got to do is make sure you don't bury somebody on top of somebody, and you're usually going to do pretty good. So I'm pretty proud of him.
Me as well.
All right, do we have a motion? Oh, wait, did we already vote?
I got the
No.
motion.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
made the motion, Ed had the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, good. All right, codes report. We're gonna,
It looked good today when I looked at it, so.
I'll
Yeah,
make
make
a
a
motion that we, I'll make a motion that we accept the codes report.
Second,
Ed seconds. Any other discussion?
Yeah, we're still having issues with the trash, but I know we'll discuss that later.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Okay, good. All righty then. Let's see here. Dog control.
only had one little dog got returned, so not too bad.
Yep. Not too bad.
I'll make a motion to accept the report as written.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous. All right, streets and parks.
How are we doing on getting the camera that you were gonna get? I know
Which
we've had for the DPW.
Oh, you mean cameras on the like the
Yeah,
compost pile and stuff?
yeah, extra ones that are bigger, long range or
Yeah,
another
we've
one.
got to get the contractor to put those on the LED light project. And we're having a hard time getting that stuff done, the smart city stuff. I don't know why. And also we're having a hard time getting like the basketball thing quoted. And obviously there's still some lights that are out. So I think that they're just swamped, but we're having a little trouble getting them to finish up all this stuff. You know, it seems like it's almost like when you have a house built, you know, you get 95% of the way done quickly, and then the last 5% takes forever. So we're waiting for them to come back to us with a proposal for more cameras and also public Wi-Fi.
Whoa, public Wi-Fi.
It won't be everywhere, but it would be in the more heavily trafficked areas of the village. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be slick.
Yeah.
No doubt. Nice.
All right, long as we keep this on our agenda, so we bring it up,
Yes. Yeah.
you know, so I recommend that we just kind of have that as a line item for the power, the Wi-Fi and the lights.
Yep.
Till we get this, because we still don't know I thought we got a great deal on these lights, and I guess we still don't know what we owe or not
Yeah,
owe.
no, I mean, we got a great deal, but the savings is we save about 6,000 a year. It's slowly going up until I think year 8. And then at that point, everything's paid off. And then we were saving about 60 or 70,000 a year.
Okay, that was the original plan. Then I heard
Yeah.
that somehow we got 80,000 given
No,
to us.
there was some confusion.
I guess
Yeah.
so. All right. So we're back to the old original plan, which was still good.
Still a great deal. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
So-
normally we pay 95,000, so if we can cut that down by $6,000 a year, that's good. And then in 5 or 6 years, we get the thing paid for. That'll be great.
Yeah.
Still a good deal.
So, as an update, Peter's the contractor that NIPA hired, and he's going to come down and audit all of the lights that are on that list. But the issue is we're still waiting for a telephone or for one of the poles. Because they were supposed to come back when the pole comes in.
Right. We
And now that's
talked
been
about
12 weeks.
checking that one on Albany Street and seeing if there's power to the pole or not. And if there's
that's
no
on
power
their
to the
list.
right, but I'm saying we could check that now, and if there's no power to that pole, we can take that pole and put it in the other spot.
So he's trying to come up with a day to come down and stay over and check all the lights and then go around with Phil. And then he'll actually quote out the basketball courts at that time.
Right, but he's not waiting for this pole to come in before he does that, is he?
Originally he was.
Yeah,
That's
he
what they
should.
were waiting for.
No,
No, he should come now, and we'll take that. We'll pillage that one pole if there's no power to it, and then use it where we need it. And then when when the replacements come in, if we want to try to figure out how to fix that pole at that point, we can. But there are some important lights that are still out, and I don't want people waiting 12 weeks for them to, for that pole to come in before they get that addressed.
no, that would not be good.
So then we definitely, Dan and I should call Peter tomorrow or send him an email to set up a date.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if somebody could just go over, Phil, send somebody over to Albany Street and just put a tester on that pole and see if there's power coming to it or not. And if there's not, then that makes the decision really easy.
All right, sounds good.
Because there's like one of the decorative lights in front of Homer Bennett Boys is out.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a whole electrician on that today. Actually, I tried twice, so maybe I'll just have them go up and check Albany while he's right there too. So
Yeah, that would be good.
yeah, because I got into one of them and I pulled the bottom out and I pulled out a handful of wires, and I'm not an electrician, so I put it back in there and I buttoned it back up. So
I can understand.
That's what I would have done.
that's about what I did. Yeah.
All right. What else? We want to talk about DPW. Anything else you want to point out or highlight, Phil?
Not at the moment. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank us for the truck.
Yeah, thank you for the truck. Exactly. I appreciate
That'll
that
be
very
good.
much.
Yeah. I think you'll like the truck. I think you guys are going to like the leaf picker upper even more.
Yeah, I can't wait for that to try that out. So
Yeah,
I think the village residents are going to be pleased with it. So
I think so too.
a little less lawn damage.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we accept the DPW report as written.
Second,
All in favor?
Hi,
Aye.
All right,
Phil,
unanimous.
did you take a look at the warranty on the truck? Phil?
No, I haven't actually sat down and looked at it. It said it extended it another 5 years beyond what I do believe the new truck has a 3-year bumper to bumper warranty on it from the factory. And then with this additional warranty, it's another 5 years on top of that. So that's covering us for 8 years.
And that was like an additional almost
Yeah.
5,000.
Yeah,
Do you
like
think-
4,600.
Yeah, do you think that's worth it?
I do.
yeah.
Because of all the electronics anymore, they get real expensive in a hurry. There's so much computer stuff in these new trucks now.
Okay. I just need to make, Tanya, I think, was aware of that, so she's gonna make sure that's in the.
Yep.
the process.
Stuff we can't work on.
Oh,
Not anymore.
not anymore. That's for sure. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Fire department.
Ouch.
Dan, did the certified letters went out to Summerhill?
Yes, they did.
Thank you.
Has the fire department got their 503C going yet?
They're still working on it. They just applied for, I believe, a new EIN, and that paperwork is supposed to follow that one. So
All right, so are there gonna be 3 of those or just one?
one of the hose companies has their own EIN. Yeah. And then the rest of the department is going to be under just one EIN. And the EIN we have now is going to, I think, be replaced.
Well, the EIN's no big deal. It's the 503C that you
Right.
gotta get. Anybody can get a EIN number, employee identification number.
Right.
So,
And that
yeah.
was no problem. We got it and then started paperwork, but I guess either the CPA or the lawyer we're working with has told us that we're better off just getting rid of that EIN and starting all over. And that's what they're working on. But it's not the fire department doing it on our own anymore. We actually have a CPA and a lawyer.
All right, so you're getting your 503Cs for each one of the hose companies. Hey, that's good. Yeah, good.
Yeah, no, it's good. Progress is happening, so that's good. All right, is there anything else you want to point out, Chief, from your report?
No, I really don't have anything.
All right, excellent.
I'll make a motion to accept the fire department report as written.
Do we have a
I'll
second?
I'll second.
Kevin seconds. All right. The only discussion I will say is Chief, the calendar drive is going on right now still?
Yes, they, I believe they might have hit all the houses that they were going to hit. So it's, they're already out there.
Okay, good. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Very good. All right. Next up, we've got fire inspector report. Scrolling.
Dan, Dan and Tanya, are we set now with the billing procedure for the fire inspector?
We are. He's submitting everything on Friday, early before the Monday of payroll, and everything is being sent at that point. It's coming to everyone in the office. Bills are being mailed out to residents who have fire inspections done, and all of that's being recorded.
Okay. So for those that are being fire inspected, the bill's going to come from the village, correct?
Yep, it comes from the village office, and if you end up having a violation and a reinspection, a second bill will come with that. So you would always get them right from the village. Someone who needs their report faster can always come down to the village and pay. Sometimes there are deadlines, and then they get it handed to them when he's done.
Okay.
One of the things that the fire inspector has said, just to get everybody on the same page, a lot of it is education, because some of them have violations, and they're generally due to items that, because of COVID and time, they haven't had inspections. And he's really thorough, and there's a lot of, like, if there's an electrical issue, you'll have to fix it. But all of them, Kevin agrees to. It's just education and making people understand that it's really for their safety.
Thank you. I make a motion that we accept the fire inspector's report.
Ed seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay. Police department.
I see our stops are creeping up, but then again, the chief is gonna have a great answer for that, so not a problem. You guys are out there doing their job.
Yeah, I've never seen it this bad with the number of suspended licenses and registration. I'm just amazed.
Well, the DMV, you have to get an appointment, so people probably can't get one very easily, so they say, screw it. But I hope that's not the answer.
Well,
I'm guessing that might be one of the people's thoughts, because I saw that was
that's part of it. People,
hardship.
it's almost like people don't care anymore. It's just, it's just, I've never seen it like this in nearly 30 years.
Wow. Anyhow, I'll move to accept the police report as written.
I'll second that.
Just
All
just
right.
one quick note. I think the stop sign on Copeland was such a great idea. I think it's really. What do you think, Chief? It's helped a lot, hasn't it?
Oh, I think it has. It's slowing vehicles down. People are using more caution through there, and not to mention, it's, it helps with pedestrian traffic, I believe, because there's no sidewalks there
Right.
Right.
and it's going to the school. So I think it helped out. I think it's helped out a lot.
Yep. No doubt.
There's only one person that matters, their opinion.
And
Have you heard from him?
I have not heard from him. I saw him last week, but I did not hear from him.
All right. Well, silence is an indication that he's happy.
That means he's going to be calling me tomorrow.
I'd like to just point out one thing that Chief has on there is that if our residents are going away for the holiday or for the winter months, contact our police department. They'll do a property check on the residents. And, that's one of the great services of having our own police department is they'll do that. So if you're a snowbird or planning a trip, let our police department know.
Exactly.
I've used them. I thought it was great. Only reason I think it's great is because nobody broke in. So, but anyhow, yeah, thank you for what you do.
Yep. Thanks. It's just one extra eye keeping keep an eye on things. So,
Chief, when you're ready to do coffee with a cop, I'll be ready to talk to you.
I am probably the first of the year. I'll be talking with you. I'll do it probably some Saturday morning if that's good with you.
Super. Thank
All right.
you.
I'd like
Very
to
good.
come on that. I'd like to come on that side of the town.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to have you.
All right. Anything else you want to add, Chief?
Just been a busy month. Went the legal updates out in Utica the first of the month, and then last week Jay and I went to that fundamental crisis intervention for law enforcement last week, and that was really good. Just trying to put some things in to play probably next year for in-service training for the officers. Mental health for people, as well as some procedural justice, which is like community policing. So we can better serve the residents. But that's about all I have.
Very good. All right. Did we vote already?
No,
I thought we did.
no, we haven't voted.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. All right. Recreation Department. So we did have a COVID exposure in basketball, but they are following the procedures and policies that the school uses for their sports, and so far no other issues. Yep, did a great job with Light of My Life. That was nice. And I think that's about it. I don't see him. Was he on there? Nope. That's about it.
I'll make a motion. We accept the report as written.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Okay. Water and sewer report. Buzz on. Hey, Buzz. So you got that pump 3 all sorted out finally?
It seems to be working good so far.
Okay, good.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
I keep seeing that people throwing rags in the sewer. I don't know how they do that, but
I don't either.
I've always been puzzled how they get a whole mop head down it. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, I can't even fathom
Big
it.
bowl. Good Lord.
So, anything else you want to point out, Buzz?
Well, I got a call from DEC on the yacht shop property on Prospect Street.
Right.
The call was about whether his floor drains was hooked to the sewer.
Okay.
So we don't have any record on that. That's, 50 plus years probably since that was, if it was hooked to. I probably would, if I had to take a guess, it probably is not. But I reached out to the health department and asking him what procedure would have taken if they did hook to that. I had no answers. So I called the lady back and questioned her on why is this coming up? And she said one of her personnel had stopped there and requested for her to check it out and see if it was hooked up. But I'm kind of looking if they want to test it, which is usually a dye test.
Right.
If they're looking for it to be tested, then they probably should test it and document it.
Right.
So
And leave us out of it.
leave us out of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder what's going on there that they're starting to poke around.
Well,
Probably going to sell it.
Well, that's what I asked her if it was selling. She doesn't really know. She's going to do some more checking. She's going to get to the personnel, I guess, who called it in and ask her to check it out. I don't really know what the problem. As far as I know, there's not much commotion going on there.
Right. Right.
That's probably one of the last properties in the village that are big. So if we ever wanted to think about some kind of development, probably now is a good time.
Yeah.
Food for thought. I mean,
A lot of cleanup though.
well, so what?
And since you're talking about cameras, we were mentioned about cameras up at the water tanks.
Right.
I don't know. I have heard that there is solar paneled cameras. So we wouldn't need power up there.
Yeah, the last time we looked at that, there wasn't enough power except, to get, power.
Well, the one on the Wolf Road, there's power there. We could get power.
Well, the thing is, Buzz, the line that's right near the tower is the 34.5 feed. The distribution level power comes from the road. It would have to be, it would be a serious cost to us to get them to bring that power to it. I feel anyway.
You're talking about the one
to entertain the idea and have them, somebody bid it, but you're going to be sending a feed onto the 34.5 pole, and if they have to move any of that wire, there's a more cost because of spacing for the transformers, stuff like that. I think it would be a significant cost to get us to be able to do that, but definitely worth entertaining in that regard.
So you're talking the one on the east side? That tanks?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one I was thinking. They have the solar panel cameras now.
Yeah, because like I said, they'd have to bring that power feed in from the roadway, and it would have to go on to a sub transmission line feed. So you're talking more extensive of a project than just setting up a transformer in the side of the street and running a set of triplex down to feed whatever. It's a little bit more involved than that.
So you'd need that with a solar power?
The solar thing you can do anywhere, obviously, because you're just setting up solar, but the cost for them is pretty considerable too.
Yeah. But on the Wolf Road, we have power going in there. There's 110 going in there.
Yes, Wolf Road. Yes, I had to think where it was for a minute. Yes, yes. So Wolf Road was okay, but the other one to the east is not.
Unless it goes solar.
Unless it goes solar. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I was referring to as the solar on that side.
Yeah, but with that location, the solar makes sense, Buzz.
It does, and all I'm saying is the solar is pretty expensive as well for that application. Because you got to figure it's like when you see on the highway, when you got something powered on the highway now, it's a little different level of solar power than the lights you put in front of your home to light your sidewalk. It's a little different, more costly is all I'm saying.
All right.
But a very, very good idea, Buzz.
Why don't we get a cost for both? And that way, if we get some grants or something, we could actually put those into grants. We could share the cost or something. It may take a couple of years, but we ought to at least have it on our list of nice to haves. If it's $5,000 to do the solar, let's use $5,000 and let's use another 5 for the other
I
tower.
tell you, I would be more inclined to you can get wireless trail cams that when they detect motion, they'll send cellular data. They'll send it to your phone, the pictures and the videos of what's going on. I'd be
That's a
more
good
inclined to
idea.
get, and they're only about $500.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly. Yep.
That's a good idea.
That would work, and then they could send it to a phone. We could leave it at the police office
Yep.
or something. That way they could hook into a video or however they do it.
Or have it go to chief's phone or something, you know?
Well, you don't want to be bothering the chief every time a bird flies by, but I mean, it probably ought to be maybe to the secretary there or something, and
Yeah.
they tape it, or that way they can go back and look, or.
That makes a lot of sense.
Why don't we look at that and see what that takes to put in? That makes good sense.
Very good.
All right.
Anything else, Buzz?
I think that's it for me.
All right.
Thanks
You
a
guys
lot.
have anything for Buzz?
How are you doing on getting, I know it's the end of the season, but how did we do on getting meters put in on people who didn't want to have them done and what have you? I know we were sending out some nasty letters. Well, they weren't nasty, but I mean, we're sending money, Let me
Yeah,
rephrase that. That was, we've
Don't
sent
get me
out
in
some
trouble,
notices to fix it. Yes,
A notice.
yes.
Yeah, we're knocking them down one at a time. We're getting a few people keep calling back in. Once they get that $50 charge, makes a difference. So
Well, we knew it would.
All right. Well, that's good. I'm done.
Okay.
all right, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Buzz. All right.
I make a
We got a
motion that we accept the water and sewer report.
Second.
Kevin seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Good, good. All right. Done with that. Privilege of the floor. Once, twice, thrice. I do not see Fred on, so we will move on to new business. All right, we need to create 2 sewer and heavy operator positions.
This would be for our water and sewer department. We're more planning for Buzz's retirement, which we hear is coming soon. So to hire someone and require a water license, we have to change them from an MEO. And all this is a non-testable position that includes the sewer and water duties, along with the driving of the heavy equipment or running it at any of the activities we need. So they can still fill in for plowing, help on road repairs as we install roads or in sidewalks.
Good.
I'll make the motion that we approve the request.
Tim seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next up.
And Tanya, I'm sorry to interrupt, but just for our current guys in the department, there's no change, correct? This is just for incoming?
The new guys' positions would become this.
Right, but I
So
mean,
civil service, yeah, there's no change. Otherwise, you're still doing the same job, same rate.
right,
everything.
they don't have to do anything, just keep working.
Yep, and civil service is gonna take, once it's signed here and approved, is gonna take the time to move them over to this position.
Okay. I just wanted to make it clear that their guys
Yeah.
didn't have to take any tests or anything to
No.
reapply, that
Right.
they're set.
Nope, this is non-competitive.
All right. Where were we? Did we vote? I don't think. we
Yeah, I
did.
seconded.
You seconded? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Unanimous. Okay. Very good. Next up, approve updating mask policy to comply with the New York State mandate. So this is straight from the governor's office.
I'll make the motion.
Second, any discussion? All right, once, twice, thrice, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, okay. All right. We got to approve renewing the Little League contract for 2022.
Are there any changes to it besides maybe the rates or something?
I think there's probably some language in here about the concession stand.
So the concession stand, the way that it was determined that there'd be no issues is we put it on our department to make sure that it's all clear before it's winterized and they're done, or they come back and do it. So otherwise it's the same contract, and that actually worked this year. Phil's team went in and made sure that the fridge and everything was clear, the concessions. And then as soon as they did, then it was closed.
Yeah, so we make sure it's good to go at the beginning of the season. Little League makes
Yep.
sure it's good to go at the end of the season.
Yeah, they clean it
Exactly.
and then we winterize it.
Yep.
After they've cleaned it. Yep, that'll work.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll make a motion, we accept the contract as written.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. That's good. All right, next up, approve the rec contract for the town of Cortlandville. So we decided to accept this for one more year, but we're going to meet with them right after the first of the year and make it clear to them that, we're going to be going back to the predetermined and pre-agreed on way of charging, which is that we come up with the cost of the program and then we divide it by the number of users in each municipality so that everyone's paying their fair share, because at this 20,000 is not their fair share. So they should be more around 32 or 33,000. So we're gonna let this go one more year, but we're gonna meet with them early next year and ensure that we're all on the same page going forward, or they'll have to make other arrangements.
Works for me.
Yep.
I'll make the motion, we accept the contract for 1 year.
Right. Second.
Any other discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Right, unanimous, very good. All right, approve holiday time policy. So this is just, we had some discussion about what we were gonna call super holidays or whatever they're called, major holidays versus regular holidays in terms of overtime. So.
Now, this is, just to remind everybody, this is only for 1 year because Christmas falls on Saturday. And there's conflicts there for that. So it's not permanent in the handbook. It goes back to the handbook when it's on a weekday.
Right.
Won't it be Sunday next year?
Well, if it is, then we'll look at it, what we want to do then. But once it goes back to the weekdays, it goes to the holidays, and conflicts like that we can easily, if we didn't easily do here. The issue is the police department works on Christmas and New Year's where nobody else does.
Right.
Okay.
All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion that we accept it.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, good. All right. Now we're getting to have some fun. Proving some penalties. So this is, we're still having nonstop problems with people putting garbage in the recycling bins. And they get to the recycling center, and because Cortland's not truly operating the center the way they ought to be, There's no sorting going on, and so we get charged fine, and then we get charged the tipping fee to dump the recycling and the garbage. So it's going to make everyone's taxes go up, basically. So we have to crack down on this. And so, oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
over the last 2 weeks, we incurred about $1,000 in fines. So if we extrapolate that, that's $26,000 a year that we're paying extra that we shouldn't be.
Not to mention the increased tipping fees, because then they charge us for the weight of the recycling when they throw it in the landfill.
Yep.
And some of the stuff that it's blatantly obvious, like power tools, cat trees, garbage.
Right.
I mean, this is not my bag. This is blatant.
So we are going to have people out checking recycling bins, making sure that what's in there belongs in there, and there's going to be fines. You're going to get a letter for the first offense for any of these, and then after that, we start fining. And garbage in the recycling bin, second offense is $100 fine. Same with disposal of ineligible items and things left at the curb that shouldn't be. Again, this is all stuff that happens constantly, and there's some people that are just repeat offenders, but it causes everyone else's taxes to go up. That people that are following the rules and doing the right thing are suffering because of it, and it's not fair. And we are all about fairness. So
If
we have
anybody's interested, these cards are up at the village office. All right. They're free. Tells you what you can and cannot recycle. Stop by, pick one up.
Yep. Maybe we'll slap one of those on each can of recycling bin where that's got stuff that we're gonna reject.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
What part of don't put garbage in the recycling bin don't you understand?
Yeah. I'd like also to recommend that we have Chris Bag, and I'm going to mispronounce his last name, but he's the new recycling coordinator at the center, and recommend that we have him. We were going to try it for this week, but we didn't have him on the agenda in time. So I recommend at the first of the month, January meeting, that we have him in to talk as well, to help reinforce and educate.
Yep, good idea.
And then after the holidays, I'd like to have a group of us sit down and start going through again, looking at bringing this back in-house. Because ultimately, I think that Ed's right on this. I think we'd be able to provide better service for less money,
And we'd be able to better control.
Exactly, we'd be able to deal with these issues.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious, does Syracuse Haulers have any monetary with this, with the stuff being in the wrong bins?
It's a pass through.
It's a pass through. Because did you notice last Thursday they had a person walking as the person drove and picked?
I didn't know.
Yeah, and I wondered if they were having a person check the bins because
Maybe they were.
You know what I mean? Why else would they have brought a second person in at this rate?
The other, oh, go ahead.
Well, that very well may be, Tim, because a couple weeks ago when Dan and I were at the recycling center and we were talking with the driver from Syracuse Haulers, and he was very much interested in trying to be helpful on this. So
one question that my uncle brought up that I don't know the answer. Is it automatic? Is there something in that truck that's automatic that makes sure that the recycling goes on the recycling side and the garbage goes on the garbage side? Because if it's completely manual, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like sometimes when I'm chopping up vegetables or something for supper and I start to, kind of zone out, I start throwing the garbage stuff into the the good vegetable thing. I mix it up. So I'm just wondering if they have anything that's automatic or if there's a possibility for human error.
Right.
That's something we probably should ask, but I would, and I'm no expert on this by any stretch of the imagination, but when we were there watching them sort through it at the plant, and they
Right.
were raking things out and shoveling things out, it didn't seem like there was errors. It seemed like there was recycling in with garbage, and it wasn't like it was.
Right, but I'm
would've-
just
Yeah, what I'm
saying-
saying is, go ahead.
even if you just spaced out and dumped one can of garbage on accident in the recycling, there's your whole load contaminated.
Yeah, and what I was thinking is it didn't seem like that. It didn't seem like there was like a chunk of garbage. It was like the garbage that was in there was definitely intermingled
Okay.
with recycling.
Yeah, one-man truck, I believe, when the run is garbage, it just goes down a garbage chute. When the run is recycling, it just goes down a recycling chute. So it's a flap, I believe, that they go back and forth on between runs. That's how I understand it.
Well, yeah, but they pick up both at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I'm just, if there's a sensor on the truck that says, hey, we got a green one, open up that flap. But if it's someone that has to actually press the button, I'm
It's
just
just a
wondering.
phone call.
Yeah.
And then I also was wondering too, I think per our contract, we're supposed to inspect their load before they start picking up. And I correct me if I'm wrong, Phil, has that been being done? Because I don't believe it is.
No, it's not being done. They don't ever show up, so.
Yep, so I think we need to make
Yep.
that known as well, that they have to show up and have someone inspect it before it starts, because how can we say that they don't have some leftover shit in there?
Because this is something that this wasn't really a problem a year and a half ago, right?
Right.
We never heard about this. And now I don't know if it's just because the recycling center isn't really
Operating.
sorting, isn't really operating.
Yeah,
Or
I think this
or
is
what,
basically the county is screwed up again, and it's all trickling down and falling on our laps.
I think you
Well,
might
this
be right.
this is across the board. I really hesitate to, as much as I would love to blame the county. This is across the board on multiple levels of what we're not doing.
Oh, don't
Okay.
get me wrong, I agree, but
We're-
I
we
mean,
are-
the evolution of all of a sudden the awareness of this problem, when I know damn well this problem has been happening the entire time.
It
You know what
could
I'm
have
saying?
Well, I think part of it is they've got a new recycling guy in there and he's cracking down and
Yeah.
they're actually sorting through. It's not a pleasant job. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the summer.
Yeah.
When they're actually raking through things, trying to pull things out to make because the market for recyclables is lousy. And I mean, we could go into a whole meeting just on this alone about
Yeah.
things that
And-
we're
and-
not doing can do better.
And my point is we can't just tighten up in one area. We need to tighten up in all aspects of it if we're going to tighten up. But otherwise, this is just a waste of time. You know what I mean? We need to cover every one of our bases. And I think it'll start with inspecting their load at the beginning of the day. Getting this information out to all the folks that how imperative it is. And then, obviously following through with our task force and coming up with a plan to replace them.
The other things we have to talk about are the number of cans that multi-unit dwellings are going to get. I think the suggestion is that if you have a duplex, you get one set of cans, and then if it's 3 units or more, you have 2 sets, and that's it. Additionally, we need to go ahead.
We already figured that out.
Well, I don't think we ever voted on it. The other thing, we need to figure out who is renting cans from Syracuse haulers, because that's Syracuse haulers double dipping, right? I mean, if you have a multi-unit dwelling and you are renting cans from Syracuse haulers, you're paying them, but then we're being charged for the tipping of that garbage. So it's not fair. So it should be renting them from us, if anything.
And then we pay the cost through
Right.
them. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. We would figure out what an average, weekly can amount is and extrapolate it and come up with an amount that we would charge for additional cans. Does that sound right to you guys?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. So let's just do, for the sake of it, 3 motions. One that we would need for the number of cans, one that we would need for renting cans, and then one for the fine schedule.
I'd like to hold off on the cans plan until I've had a chance
Yeah.
to talk to some residents, because I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody about the options.
Okay.
We
That's
also need a date to put it in and give time when we do that, because to collect those cans and for people to pay us, we need to get the notices out.
Sure. Yeah. All right. We'll go ahead with the fee schedule then tonight, and then we can work on the other 2 items. And I don't know, Pat, I've been yelled at enough about the can thing. I think I got enough feedback, but if you want to get yelled at some more, you can have fun with that.
I'm a glutton for punishment.
You must be.
Yeah, I don't mind either, but Tanya, didn't we decide on the number of cans as far as singles and multiple units?
We talked about it. It wasn't voted. It was going to be just 1 can per household, for each resident, for each tax unit. But there has been a lot of issues lately with the contaminated loads, and I think that's why Hal's looking at doing 2 in the multi-unit.
Okay,
Yep.
I thought we already figured that out anyways, but I don't know, doesn't. Anyways. We'll
It's
figure it out.
no matter what we do, we are going to make people unhappy.
True.
There's no way around it. If we gave everybody all the cans in the world that they wanted, it's the amount of tipping, it's just not fair. It's not divided.
Yeah, and then they still wouldn't recycle.
Yes. All right. So how about a motion on the fee schedule then?
I'll make a motion to accept the fee schedule as we have outlined.
Second.
Any other discussion on that? It's cracking the whip. It's pretty rough, but we have to do it. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Good. Let's see. We've got some budget adjustments.
Actually, Hal, I didn't finish them because I did something for executive today.
Okay.
So they'll be
No
coming in January.
No problem. All right. The last thing is discussion of a moratorium on Route 281. And this is while we're in the middle of revising the comp plan, revising the code book, looking at changing the zoning in the village. That's a lot of things in the air right now, and a lot of work that we need to do on our end to make sure that we've got the proper structures in place and things are zoned properly and the codes are right. So I think that we should talk about a 6-month at least moratorium on any new development on 281 between Route 90 and Route 41. It's my thought, at least. I don't know what you guys think.
6 months long enough? Are we going to get all this done in 6 months? I doubt it.
Well, I think Dante can chime in here. I think it's supposed to be for a year, but we can always reduce it. Is
Yeah,
that
we
correct?
do. Dante.
Oh, you wanted me to chime in? Okay. What we were just discussing. So it can be for any amount of time. The way that the law is drafted right now is a 1-year moratorium, and the geographical area again can be reduced or expanded, but the the area I have is between 41 and 81. So it would cover a little bit more of.
Okay.
41 and 90.
Well, no, I think it makes sense to go to 81 too, because, yeah, 41 to 81.
There is that stretch. Yeah, that is, it's where the ending of sort of the commercial area is, and then the school starts, obviously. But
yeah, that makes sense.
I would make it a year, and if you had to reduce it, that we can do that. In the meantime, I can't see that we're gonna get the code book all approved, the comp plan, all that. You got a lot, we can reduce it if we have to, but why bring this back up and miss a deadline that we put on ourselves? I would say just put it for a year, and if something comes up, we can change it.
yeah, the law would have a couple of safeguards. Hey, you could rescind the entire thing, 6 months or 8 months if you were done with the code book and done with the zoning changes. But you can also, there is also a safety valve, to appeal the law for specific projects, and an appeals process that runs through you guys as the Board of Trustees. If there is a project that, isn't really going to be affected by either the code changes or the zoning changes, there would be a little bit of a relief valve. And the moratorium does exempt some, basic homeowner projects that would be, subject to minor things in either the ZBA for like an area variance, or the planning board for minor subdivision. So it's not gonna, ensnangle homeowners doing like a garage renovation on a residential lot. So that's the thing. It wouldn't be affected. You're thinking about, larger commercial projects that are in between zoning areas and in between, code provisions, like we talked about in the last meeting, with setbacks, with green space, lot coverage, those issues that the subcommittee on the codes are looking at changing or amending or modifying some of those provisions. So
yep, exactly. Yeah, and I agree. I think the year is the right choice. So any other thoughts on this from the board?
No, I think it's the right step we need to go, especially looking at the zoning map. It's really kind of a hodgepodge. And we can clean that up a bit.
All right. And so the next steps on that are what, Dante?
I'll send you or resend you my latest draft of the zoning law so we can start the seasoning process again.
Okay.
Like all local laws, we'll need to, properly notice it, have a public hearing, and go through those procedures. If there's any comments that you guys have on that law, I'd ask to, maybe get those in the next 7 or 10 days. I'll send out the draft tomorrow. So they can be revised and then properly reseasoned to you guys.
All right. And then
So we're probably looking at local law number 1 of 2022 then for this, right?
Yeah, that's good. So I will make that change as well, because I think I still have the 2021 information on it.
Good. All right, perfect.
So we don't need a motion for to do the more. Okay, good. All right, move on.
All right, comments by board members.
We don't need a motion. We don't need a motion on that.
Well, no. He's going to resend the law to us so that it can start the seasoning process. We have to have it for 7 days, and then we have to have a public hearing on it. So it'll be in the January meeting.
All right. Because I'm right in the middle of this.
I know you are. I know you are. Ed, comments?
Hopefully we plan and do a little better. This is my New Year's resolution for CFAs and DRIs and grant process. We've been jiggered for what, 3-4 years now. We have, well, we did get a dam, but who the hell cares about that? We did get a salt shed. We do care about that, but we haven't won anything like the river trail or a dog park or anything that's kind of really helps the community, or sidewalks. there, you talked about sidewalks on Copeland Avenue. That ought to be one of our priorities, is to put a sidewalk on there. So we, God forbid, any one of our, school kids gets hit, not only the driver will feel bad, but the rest of us too, because we could do something about it. So we should focus on that and make sure Tanya and Dan get all the support we can to do great grant writing. We need help. We need to get some wins.
We'll have a large grant project, grant application for the sidewalks to be work in tandem with Walkable Homer. The Walkable Homer grant is still awaiting confirmation of where we're going to do just the small portion of what Walkable Homer is, or if we get the larger portion so that one can be used as match and then we can do a larger project. So still to come yet on that decision of when
all good
that comes in.
And the other thing we need to do for the Copeland Avenue is we need to get homeowner buy-in. We can have all the money in the world, but unless they approve to have the sidewalk, we can't force them to. And I think
you don't have eminent domain on the 20 or 10 feet from the center of the road for sidewalks like everybody else has.
Dante?
Can you rephrase a little bit about your exact question? Is yes, there is a public right of way that runs through the road, especially in non-state roads. It depends on the exact roadway, but what was your specific question?
Can you put a sidewalk in if homeowners don't want it to be put through their area?
No, generally not. You can't just put a sidewalk in a house without a sidewalk, especially because you would be obligating them for the future maintenance of that sidewalk.
Okay, and then once the sidewalk is in, it's always got to be maintained forever, because I couldn't just get rid of mine.
I
understand. All right, so hey, I got a feeling that people might want a sidewalk. It helps sell their property.
That's what I'm just saying is it's more to it than just getting the money for that particular problem, because we've been discussing it with some Copeland Avenue homeowners and they don't want a sidewalk.
Oh, really?
They don't care. So we'll work on it.
Too bad.
All right. Anything else, Ed?
No.
All right, Patrick.
Attended the Town of Homer meeting on December 8th. Just a heads up for everybody that they're going to be looking to adjust their building permit fees. We should probably do the same with us. I know if Kevin McMahon was on board on tonight, he would agree with that. So we'll be taking a look at that. The town would like us to appoint 2 members from our board to work with them to discuss the police department and the seniors using the facilities downstairs. It would be a working committee to determine feasibility. They've appointed Barry Warren and Mike Park. They're looking to have 2 members from our board to work with them to explore the feasibility of that. I don't know if we want to address that now or do we want to? I think Ed was volunteering. I saw his hand.
I will.
Ed volunteered. All right, we need one more.
I'll do it.
Kevin, Ed and Kevin. All right. I like it.
And then, let's see. There's a CNY broadband internet study being done. They've got the map. I just thought that might be something interesting for us. I don't know if that really impacts us much. The town is going to be building a windbreak off the back of the building on the north side. Phil, that should help with not having to worry about plowing snow into the breezeway there. So they're going to be working on that. It'll be a temporary thing just for the late fall, winter to keep snow.
Like a snow fence.
Oh, nice.
Kind of thing?
Yep.
More like a windbreak, so that the door doesn't get blown around or you're out of the.
They're going to enclose the doors more or less.
Yeah, they're
That's
just
what
going
it
to.
sounds like. Yep.
Yeah, they're just going to put it on the north side from the pillar back to the building.
Oh, nice.
That should help those. Anyway,
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah, a little bit.
And let's see. When can we, since we've pretty much finished our budget, when can we make that open for review?
Yeah, I'm still putting it into the Williams software and doing the paperwork for it,
Mhm.
but I have water billing starting tomorrow. So it's going to be done before I go to Disney. So I leave the 23rd and it's going to be posted before then.
Okay.
Just before Christmas.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
take a look
it's
at the budget
normal-
on the village website.
I know it's high on everybody's list.
Super.
It's normally not posted to January, but it will be up because I don't want to do it when I get back.
Totally get it.
Nestling by the fire, looking at the village budget.
Very romantic.
That's all I have.
All right, Kevin.
Pat, the next time, whenever it happens, if you go to the recycling center, I would love to tag along, just to explore, see what goes on there.
Oh, yeah, we can have a nice discussion on that. Much more in depth than what we had tonight.
No doubt. And I would just like to kind of reemphasize the importance of the SRO officers in our school district, because I've had discussions with people I know in other and surrounding areas, school districts that are having some terrible issues with fights and shootings and calling in alarms and stuff like that. And Homer seems to have like none of those issues, well, except for the one last week, but the importance of our SROs.
Yep, I agree.
And thank you guys for what you do. That's all I got.
Very good. Tim.
Mine's more of a question. Tanya, did anybody get sent over for the electric issue at the cemetery? As far as a grid person or anything like that?
Nope, National Grid has not come out yet and hasn't called back.
Okay,
And I've called them a couple times.
all right. I'm not positive, but I think my guy might have moved on in some other fashion. I'm hearing that there's a new person for the Cortland barn. So I'm investigating into that. But
We have a new person in Homer too.
well, the person actually that I'm thinking of actually runs the Cortland grid barn on Fisher Ave. But because normally he gets back to me pretty fast. And I had heard he was on a hunting vacation, but I'm hearing rumors that he may have moved on from that position. So I'm trying to talk to him because he would be the best person, I think, to really evaluate what's going on there. But if it's anything past their point of attachment, we'll literally probably have to just have an electrician go in and inspect the entire electrical system to the building. But that's obviously what I would like to replace in the spring. But obviously, if we're still having major issues with it, we really shouldn't wait till then. We don't want the equipment to burn up because of a bad neutral.
The power goes on and off constantly. Jim Tulin Jr. can go through it. The only good thing is they're not up there. They work out of the DPW to April 1st.
Right. So is there anything that is powering that has to be on in those buildings for the winter? Like, does it run heat? Does it run? I don't know anything about what's in those buildings.
They use a wood stove. So
Yeah,
I don't know if there's anything except the phone that leaves messages, but then eventually people call us anyway.
So my recommendation is, if we can't send somebody to look, then, maybe have the power just completely cut off to those if it's not going to affect anything. Until we can get somebody in there to check the whole thing out. Because if something's going on and off constantly like
Yeah,
that,
I agree,
one, it's going to
Tim.
damage equipment, or if it's a bad neutral somewhere, I mean, you could get a over voltage into something and ruin the equipment that way. So I don't know if there's nothing detrimental that needs to have that power on 24 hours a day. I think we should have it shut off and at the meter at the road until we get somebody in there to look at it and figure it out.
So why don't we check with Jim Tulin tomorrow. I know Phil's on and he can ask him since he works with him.
Yep.
And go from there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
The only thing I know it's in there might be a computer, but I mean, that's something we can grab out of there.
Yeah.
Most time,
You know what I mean? Anything that doesn't need to be running,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. I personally would love to help and try to do that, but my schedule's just been way overboard lately. So there's no feasible way I'm going to be at that anytime soon.
All they have to do is unplug the computer, pretty much unplug everything.
Yeah. Because the backhoe itself is actually in a separate building with no power to it. So, but like I said, I'll double check with Jim in the morning. Jimmy.
Okay.
So.
Sounds good. That's basically all I had. That's what's been on my mind the last couple of days.
I like your idea to just shut it off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, in the springtime, I can do what I was talking about. We can get some of them poles replaced, get the wire raised, maybe even replace the entire triplex to the building. I've got contacts in a couple different places that might donate that wire to us. So.
All right. All right. Very good. Dante, anything?
Nope, nothing for me.
All right. We're going to have to go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter, but before that, I'd open it up to the media. Any questions? I see Don's on.
Yeah, two questions. One, can you send me the fee schedule for the recycling penalties?
Yes.
And
Shoot that to Don.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
the draft of what you're doing as far as I won't publish it, but want to look and see what you're doing as far as can allocations to properties, trash cans.
Yeah. Well, I think that we're still TBD, but I think up to 2 units, up to a duplex, you get 1 set of cans, and then anything above 2 units, you get 2 sets. And but that's, we're not sure that we're going to do that yet.
Okay. All right. And the other question is the Cortlandville rec contract.
Yes.
Is the village doing any scheduling through rec desk for Cortlandville?
Well, I mean, in that they don't have a rec program at all, so they just use ours. Yes.
The only reason I'm asking is that I read that the city of Cortland's got an issue with Cortlandville, or Cortlandville has decided not to use the city of Cortland's scheduling system.
Well, so right. What happened there is Cortlandville offered the city too little money like they did us, and the city decided that they weren't going to accept it whatsoever, and just I'm not sure what they wound up doing in terms of additional charges for Cortlandville residents to participate in their programs. I think they were talking about maybe like a yearly fee of $100 per kid that would allow a Cortlandville kid to use the city. I'm not sure. What they were doing was, I think Cortland or the city was using rec desk and stuff to schedule stuff at Gutchess. And so I think basically when their agreement fell apart, I think that ended is what happened. I'm still trying to figure it out exactly, but
I was just curious if Cortlandville is going to be looking to the village to pick up that slack.
We certainly will not be picking up anything additional at this reduced rate that they're giving us.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Don. All right, now I would like to entertain a motion to go into executive session per New York State Public Officer Law, Article 7, Section 105, to discuss a personnel matter.